How's it looking, Chief?
It's looking good, TJ. Real good.
So what's she dialing?
She's dialing 1-800-COLLECT. We're in good shape.
Oh, no. I think her friend's gonna dial 0.
Well, maybe she doesn't know 1-800-COLLECT can save $1 or $2.
I'll rescue her.
Can't send a boy to do a man's job, son.
1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
A lot of big men have a big heart, you know, because they're compassionate and they're soft.
Nice, big, muscular legs. I think that's really sexy.
Oh, yes. Barry White is very sexy. I love him. I really do.
I think he's a great performer, and he's handsome in his big way.
ABC TV News correspondent Deborah Roberts says her husband, NBC TV weatherman Al Roker, is everything one would want in a mate. Qualities that many women say transcend size.
There are some big men that are sexy, and you know, it's all their sense of humor and their personality that makes them sexy.
Guess I better put on some more weight. Good evening and welcome to BET Tonight. I'm Tavis. Smiley. As always, glad you're with us. We'll get to your phone calls in just a moment. You might say they are larger than life. Overweight lovers in the house tonight. Reports say that more than 1/3 of men in this country have a little more meat on their bones than most. Tonight we turn to 3 hot recording artists to find out why women are saying that Mo is better. Here in our Washington studios, Fat Joe stands alone, hitting it big with his CD, Don Cartagena, but he's also the leader of the top Latino crew, Terror Squad. Also here in Washington with us, Jazz, who lends his vocal and musical talents to the popular Island Def Jam R&B group, Drew Hill. And finally, joining us via satellite from Myrtle Beach, our friend Sean Levert. You know Sean, of course, is part of that bad soul-singing Levert family out of Cleveland. Sean has proven, though, that he can step out on his own, and we're glad that he's here tonight. And Gerald and his daddy let him come out by himself tonight. Sean, nice to see you. Glad you're with us, man.
You too, Tavis.
Let me start with you, the veteran on this panel, and ask whether or not the sister was right when she said the bigger the man, the bigger the heart. You buying into that?
That's right. That's right. Because you got to do more when you're bigger. You know, you got to try harder a little bit.
You know, I've seen you and Gerald in concert together, and I don't know that just because you're bigger, you have to try harder. I've seen more women throw stuff at, I ain't gonna say what they were throwing, but I've seen more stuff thrown at you and Gerald than a lot of skinny brothers on stage. I'm not sure you really have to work that hard. I mean, you
That's
think so?
because we work hard, man. We got to work extra hard.
Right.
But you know you can't have a big man show without a Levert on it.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Sean. I told somebody we can't have Gerald on. Gerald's done lost so much weight. Last time I saw him, I just saw him at the Essence Festival down in New Orleans.
Yeah,
He doesn't even qualify for this kind of show anymore. I ain't mad at you, Gerald.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Jazz, nice to see you, man. How are you?
All right, man.
I'm glad you're here. So, what is it about big men that seems to be attracting sisters these days? I mean, it's like sisters don't care. It almost seems.
Man, I think it's like almost like a revolution starting, man. It's like I tend to get maybe like your older, nice and calmer women out of the group, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of tough being, you know, the big one on stage with Drew Hill. I mean, we got these 3 smaller cats, and I'm up there working harder. Like Sean said, you got to go that extra mile, you know, but it pays off. It pays off.
Yeah.
Fat Joe, I'm wondering whether or not, and I mean no disrespect to any of the 3 of you, and I'm glad you're here, but I wonder whether or not it is that across the board you think sisters are getting turned on by big brothers, or sisters are turned on by y'all because you're big and your wallets are thick. I'm just trying to figure out whether, am I missing something here? Is it happening across the board? You think it happens with certain people because y'all represent in a way that a lot of big brothers can't?
It was funny because I was like driving up last night from Miami because I don't fly to come do the show.
You drove from Miami to come here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really glad you're here.
I was just like thinking to myself, like what type of questions would be asked, but most big men you know in any ghetto or any neighborhood you go to always seem to have some money too.
Right.
I mean, they wouldn't be big if they ain't got no money. You know what I mean? So I just think with big men, I think big men have the greatest sense of humor, and you know that attracts women too. You know, and your neatness. You know, if you're gonna be a big man, you're gonna have to be neat. You know, take care of yourself and always look proper in public. You know what I mean?
Right. We'll take a break. Go to Cheryl Martin. I'm not gonna ask Cheryl what she thinks about this. I'm just gonna ask her to give me some news, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Thick Love in the house tonight. The overweight lovers in the house. Your phone calls for them in just a second. But now we turn to our friend Cheryl Martin to find out what's happening in tonight's top news headlines. Good evening, Cheryl.
Good evening, Tavis. Thank you. And good evening, everyone. The Marine Corps is investigating a case of alleged racial harassment at a young Marines camp in North Carolina. Some black teenagers from the Washington, D.C. area say while they were at Camp Lejeune last month, someone put racial epithets on their lockers and vandalized their belongings. Officials at Camp Lejeune say the incident was not reported, and they learned about it through a report in today's Washington Post. The camp ended 2 weeks ago. Members of Congress are planning a national tribute in honor of late civil rights pioneer James Farmer. He was founder of the Congress for Racial Equality, or CORE. He died July 9th in Fredericksburg, Virginia. The national tribute is scheduled for September 10th at the Kennedy Center here in Washington. Sponsors say the tribute is long overdue.
James Farmer was truly one of the founding fathers of what I like to call the New America. He was one of what many in the press call the big six leaders of the civil rights movement. And so it's only fitting and appropriate that we from the movement and lovers of freedom everywhere are joined together to pay tribute to this great man.
In New York, Harlem's Apollo Theater is on the verge of rescue. State officials are finalizing an arrangement that would give Time Warner a controlling interest in revitalizing the theater. The agreement also calls for Congressman Charles Rangel to step down as chairman of the theater's board. He would be replaced by actor Ossie Davis. The plan would also require Percy Sutton to pay $1 million owed to the Apollo. Sutton's company produces a program, It's Showtime at the Apollo. Last November, the state, which owns the theater, filed a suit accusing the board of failing to collect millions of dollars owed by Sutton. Former football star Jim Brown faces trial August 17th for vandalism and making terrorist threats. It stems from an alleged domestic dispute in June in Los Angeles. His wife called 911 and said Brown was beating her car with a shovel. Brown said on CNN's Larry King Live that police overreacted, and his wife again denied she was ever in danger. In international news, doctors in Jamaica are concerned about the growing use of bleaching creams among women and men. Some poor dark-skinned Jamaicans are quoted in a Washington Post article as saying they use the cream to lighten their skin. They think they will be more acceptable socially and professionally. Jamaican doctors say they are treating more patients who have developed skin problems because of the creams. The bleaches contain harmful steroids. I'm Cheryl Martin. Those are some stories making headlines. More news later. But first, after this break, Tavis continues talking with some of the largest and hottest men of music. Stay with us.
The coolest people play McDonald's new codename game, inspired by Disney's new movie, Inspector Gadget. To play, check the wrapper from a beefy quarter pounder with cheese.
Oh man, my wrapper!
The codename game is only at McDonald's, and the movie is only in theaters. Collect the right 3 letters like SUV, and you win a rugged new Chevy Tahoe. Or you could instantly win one of 64 million prizes. So do what you gotta do to play, because winning is cool.
Can you come back tomorrow?
The codename game. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Dress you up in my love, all over, all over. Can I dress you up in my love, all over your body? Can I dress you up in my love, all over your body, all over your body. In my love, all over, from your head down to your toes.
When Elijah McCoy invented the lubricating cup for the steam engine in 1872, he set a standard for being the best.
Is this the real McCoy?
Today, the GMC Yukon Denali builds on the heritage GMC began in 1902, giving you the legendary strength their trucks were designed to deliver for all the moves your life takes you through. with the added dimension of full-size power and luxury. And that's as real as it gets. The GMC Yukon Denali, the real McCoy.
It just feels really good when they hold you in your arms and you feel like you're just, you know, surrounded by just all this stuff. And you're just like, oh, it's just me and only me.
Ooh. Welcome back to BET Tonight. I'm Tavis Smiley. Glad you're with us, talking tonight with some overweight lovers in the house. Women say sexiness comes in all shapes and sizes, apparently including double XL. Joining us here to tell us why plump can be pleasing, and pleased to have him, recording artist Fat Joe of the Terror Squad, also here in our Washington studio, Jazz of Drew Hill, and via satellite from Myrtle Beach, Sean Levert, taking a break from the Budweiser Superfest tour and I suspect the golf course. Sean taking a break to join us tonight on our program, and glad that you are all with us. Fat Joe, you were so out about your weight size, you even put it in your name. I mean, you embraced the fat thing, huh?
Man, I always been Fat Joey since I was a little kid.
What do you want to be now, huh?
I was a kid that was always overweight, you know, and it was like, you know, everybody called me Fat Joey. So, you know, that's don't have no problem with me being addressed that way. I just wanted to represent the big guys. And like, as far as me, Heavy D really inspired me to become a rapper. He was one of my influencers, and he was just fly, man. He was holding it down for big men, looking proper, doing his thing. So, you know, I was like, yo, man, that's why I got to come fly.
If Heavy can do it, I can do it too.
Heavy can do it, I can do it too.
Sean, there are a lot of brothers, a lot of sisters rather, who say when they speak of big men that one of the things they like about brothers, and we, you know, did our own little informal survey and poll around here. And one of the things I heard repeatedly about why sisters seem to like brothers who are on the bigger side is because they exude, many of them, a certain amount of confidence. I guess when you're a certain size, no sense in walking with your head hung down, so you walk around. A lot of sisters think that you exude a certain amount of confidence, and it is that confidence that they are attracted to. Talk to me about that if you believe it.
You know what, Tavis? I really think it is because, you know, you being big, you got soft hands, you know, you got soft lips. You know, they like to be touched softly, and you know, you got all this soft stuff. And women like it; they love it. So you know, but your stomach might get in the way sometimes. But you see, you got to try other tricks. You know, that's what they like. Those other tricks you try.
I understand. I would ask you to extrapolate, but since it's a family show, I'm not going to ask you to do that, Sean.
We'll talk about it when the camera goes
on. We'll do that. We'll talk about that during commercial break. Jazz, how is it though that in a society where a lot of folk, including the media, I mean, we make, you know where I'm going with this. We make skinny beautiful. The skinnier you are, the more in shape you are, the more toned you are. You know, this whole supermodel thing on the, men and women. It can be Tyra Banks or Tyson Beckford, but we have a certain image that we portray and put forth as what is attractive. And yet, there are a lot of big brothers who've broken through what the media portrays as attractive. And that happens, you think, because why?
Well, I guess I would say I think it's easier. It's a little quicker and easier. I ran into, a lot of problems when it came to the group getting outfits and all made, things like that, or even just picking off the shelf. I could never pick off the shelf. So I decided I'll start getting my own clothes made, just to break away from that. I'll start my own thing. So it kind of like gave me the push just to be more confident and saying I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna start something that's mine, and I'm gonna keep pressing on. And actually, right now, I'm trying to put together, my own clothing line.
Right.
Maybe me and Fat Joe talked about that.
For bigger brothers.
Model.
Sean in it,
Yeah, I got a clothing line right now called FJ560.
Yeah.
And it's for the big guys, you know what I mean? Representing.
Definitely.
To the fullest. I mean, it's funny, man, because Big Pun, he bigger than...
That's a big boy.
Me and my man put together.
Exactly. Pun, yeah, exactly.
Pun is we can't forget to say Pun is a sex symbol, you know what I mean? The women love Big Pun, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's cool. Another thing we should say on a more serious side is it's cool to be big, but it's also cool to be healthy too.
Right.
So,
I was about to go there.
I always, You know what I mean? I always stay big, but whenever I feel this little extra balls getting right here, you know, I start doing a little something to work it down, because, you know, you don't want to look too big, you know what I mean?
That's right.
You just want to feel comfortable with yourself.
You mentioned Big Pun, and obviously Big Pun is one of your boys, one of your running boys. Your brother, exactly.
Right.
But there are a lot of people who look at him, and I mean, we were just talking to the commercial break. That track was slamming. I mean, everybody, one of the best I've ever, indeed. The track was wonderful. Everybody loved it. But when you saw the video, you saw this guy, your first reaction was, that boy is huge. And I think the second thought that runs through a lot of people's minds is that he's not just big, unhealthily big. People look at Big Pun and say, he's so big, you don't want anything to happen to this guy because that's the music that you enjoy. But I wonder sometimes whether or not you all, Sean, jump in when you want to, whether or not you at all take the health concerns. You think not seriously enough?
I think it's scary, but in this business, it takes all kinds to make things happen.
Right.
And you know, you got your skinny people, you got your big people. You know, it's like his image thing. It's a scary thing, but you know, you just have to watch. Don't go too far with it. You know, you gotta.
Exactly. And like you said earlier, sorry about that, but like you said earlier, man, I think, you know, realistically, you know, big is realistic. You know, your father, a lot of people are overweight in this country and everywhere we go. So they could put, you know, the models and all that, but realistically, off the screen or whatever, you know, big people surviving all day. You know what I mean? You can relate to big people.
Yeah, I guess you can look at Tyson Beckford in the magazine all day long, but 9 times out of 10, when you get home, that's what you got waiting on you. When you get home, that's what you got waiting for you. We'll take a break, come back, and get your phone calls for the overweight lovers in the house tonight. You're watching BET Tonight on Black Entertainment Television. Your phone calls straight ahead. Stay with us.
I'm Roger Sauter from Poe's Cereals. I grew up on cereal, followed the funnies, except for that sheriff's badge. It was the way to start the day. Now that I've grown up, my cereal is Post Shredded Wheat. Simple, honest, pure, and so wholesome, the feeling you're off on the right foot stays with you all day long. Post Shredded Wheat. It's starting the day with cereal and doing it right.
Most women do want, you know, a slimmer man. But there are a lot of women out here, too, that just want a healthy man. And, you know, if you're healthy, and again, if you carry yourself well, you have a nice personality, you can be sexy, too. You can be sexy just like me.
Only on Black Entertainment Television. You guys like being called soft and cuddly and teddy bear? I mean, those are compliments or like disses. My sister said, you're so soft and cuddly, big teddy bear.
No, that's a compliment to me. You know, you're my big teddy bear. It's kind of like that cozy thing, but also it's looked at with me. I don't know about Joe and Sean, but it's like I'm looked at like it's more of a security thing. You know, they feel secure with me. You know, nothing's going to happen because it's like a demand for respect, being as big as I am.
Mad at you, Jay. Let's take some phone calls. Wanda in West Virginia, you're on the air, Wanda, and I'm glad you called.
Hi, Tavis.
Hello.
Hey, thank you for keeping it real and keep up the good work on your show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I have a question and a comment. The first is the question to the three fellas on the panel. My question is, when you're out looking at females and so forth, do you choose a healthier woman? First of all, the question is to all three. And then my comment is the majority of the females who do choose the or not the overweight, but the heavier or healthier gentleman are usually looking at the gentleman because he appears to be healthier. And when you look at the waist guy, the smaller, thinner guy, he appears to be either on crack or gay. And I'm wondering if that's the reason, if either of you choose the healthier woman, if that's one of the reasons you do that.
Let me grab that first question. First of all, thank you for your phone call, Wanda. Let me grab her first question and ask. Let me twist it just a little bit, if I might, and ask whether or not, when you all are looking for women, that whether you choose, as Wanda asked, a healthy woman, or whether or not you are choosing a woman on the bigger side. I'm just curious. Y'all a bunch of big brothers up in here, but what kind of sisters are you looking for?
Well, man, I don't discriminate.
You're a non-discriminating kind of brother.
That's right.
But this, to be funny, with me, I've dated a lot of skinny women.
I figured that.
For real.
I figured that. Is there a reason for that, Sean?
Yes, there is, but we'll have to talk about that later, too.
All right. What about you, Fat Joe?
I mean,
you want a sister your size or a sister a little smaller?
No, I mean, of course, there's a beautiful big woman out there. There's some of the most beautiful, pretty women out there is big women. But like what he said, we are talking the commercial break. You know, I like to take somebody just a little bit smaller than me, so you know we can get it going the right way. I know some beautiful big women out there. You know.
Yeah.
Wait, what you saying, Sean?
Two big folks, you know, they cause a lot of friction.
That's a hustle. That's a hustle and bustle there.
I'm glad you found, Sean, a family-friendly way of saying that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mitch in Ohio. Mitch, you're on the air, and I'm glad you called, Mitch.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hello, Mitch.
How you doing?
I just want to say much love to all of you guys supporting the big man movement.
Thick love.
That's right.
Love goes out to that. And to my man, Sean Levert, he's very humble. Because he's been a part, as well as his family, of making the big man movement happen with some platinum-selling artists named Men at Large.
Right. Right. Some big guys.
In progress. It's definitely in stores nationwide now. And my man, Sean, I want to something to you, fella. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, Dave Oliver, on the line. What's the deal, Sean?
Hey! What's up, Davey?
I ain't get the heavyweight champs of R&B on the show. We pushed it down. We've been calling BET trying to get on the show. They said, "Well, what's your angle? We don't really have a show for you guys."
Well, we got the big brothers on tonight. That's the angle tonight. Or
that's right.
There's a lot of angle, but they here, and I'm glad to hear. Tamika, so you know this guy, I assume, Sean.
Dave, that's Dave Tolliver from the Men at Large.
Oh, that was Dave on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'm a little slow. I got it now. I got it now. All right. Tamika in Michigan. Tamika, thanks for holding your on. I'm glad you called, Tamika.
Hi. First of all, I wanted to say hi to Tavis.
Hello.
The other fellas.
How you doing?
I'm a full-figure woman that is comfortable with a larger man. I've always been that way, even with me being smaller. I was wondering, with your popularity from the female fans, does this go to your head, or
let me predict the answer, Tamika. Of course not. No, never goes to our head. Now let me ask Jazz to see if I predict it correctly. Ever go to your head, Jazz?
The politically correct answer, no.
See, told you. Fat Joe?
Same thing.
No, huh? Sean, didn't go to your head either, did it?
No.
Yeah,
no,
see?
No, I have to agree.
That was a softball, Tamika, but I thank you for your phone call. We go to New York. Trisha's on the line. Trisha, thanks for holding. You're on the air, Trish. Glad you called.
Hi, you guys.
Hello, we're well.
You, but I got a question for you. Why is it that in your videos you never see a big sister?
Uh-huh.
We give you
You know why?
Uh-huh, Sean Levert.
But you know why?
Why, Sean?
Because when you see a big sister in a video, a lot of people think that it's funny.
They won't take the video seriously?
They don't take it seriously. They don't, you know, if you see a big woman dancing, doing what one of them skinny models might be doing, it's not going to be the same effect.
This is crazy, because just today, man, I'm in D.C., and I was just thinking about that, man. I was like, you know, big women don't be in the videos and all that, and I was like, you know, just like, you know, some people like Redman has some big girls in the video, and I thought it almost looked like he was making fun of them.
Right.
And you know, like people be thinking you make fun of them. I mean, Big Sister's got like Mia X representing at a No Limit. You know, she represent for them to the fullest, and you know, she a beautiful girl too. You know, much love.
I buy your argument. I buy your argument, Fat Joe, that one of the reasons why you don't see more big women in videos is because people won't take it seriously.
It should be.
But let me ask this question. That's the video question. Why aren't there bigger sisters? Why aren't there more Kelly Prices, if you will, who get a chance to record? Because Kelly can blow. I think we can all agree on that. But big sisters, in a lot of ways, don't get a chance to.
I think that's just now. I think historically, there's been a lot of big women out there representing, you know, for you know, singing and all that. You know, the Shaka Khan is big now. You know, I mean, you know, back in the days, I used to see a lot of, you know, you go to Apollo Amateur Night, they be like, and I am telling
Jennifer Holliday, he done brought out.
You know what I mean?
He done brought out Jennifer Holliday.
Big women been representing for a long time.
But it is. But can we admit though? But Sean, it is rather sexist. Let's call a spade a spade. Isn't it though rather sexist in this industry that y'all can get over the way you do? And I'm not saying get over. Let me rephrase that because you got talent. But your talent can be displayed and showcased when a lot of bigger sisters have to fight for that opportunity to get out there.
Because it's harder for women in this business, period. I think that it's harder for a woman to get in this business anyways, and then once you're big, that makes it even harder for you.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, really, it makes it hard. So, you know, it's not too many women that breaks into it because you're big, and then, you know, because you've been in, they tell you so many things that they don't know how to promote you,
right.
You know, they don't know where to put you or what your image should be and all this other stuff. But, you know, if you can sing like Kelly Price showed them, then you can sell some records.
She's opening the doors. Everything in this music business always seems to be like a copycat or a trend or something. So now that Kelly Price opened the doors and she showed that
a lot of big sisters coming through.
Now you're gonna see Chinese big sisters.
All right, we'll take a break and come back. Get ready for the big woman procession right behind Kelly Price. We'll take a break. More of your phone calls straight ahead. You're watching BET Tonight on Black Entertainment Television. We're back in just a minute.
When you see your kids grow, you assume they're growing strong, healthy bones. But maybe they're not. 72% of our kids aren't getting enough calcium during the years when pediatricians say bones grow the most. That's why your kids' favorite cereals from General Mills now provide them with a good source of calcium. Are your kids getting enough? Look for this seal on cereals kids love from General Mills.
Over 1 million have gotten tighter stomachs with 8-minute abs. And to celebrate our success, we created the 8-minute Gold Collection.
I went from this flabby spare tire to a washboard stomach. Thanks, 8-minute abs.
You'll get 8-minute abs, 8-minute buns, and 8-minute arms. A $60 value for only $24.95. Flatten those abs, shape your buns, and tone your arms. Call now and we'll include a free $5 rebate. That's right, get 8-minute abs, buns, and arms all for only $19.95 after rebate. To order, call 1-800-257-5700.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Tavis Smiley. I tell you all the time that sometimes the best part of the show happens during commercial breaks. If I can repeat what Sean Levert said in that commercial break, but I can't. Can't repeat what Sean said during the break. Have any of you ever had your record labels ask you to slim down? And specifically you, Jazz, because you were the group that you mentioned earlier. Brothers, you got these three skinny guys with these real sex symbols, and you right up in there with them doing your thing, even with leather on. I don't know how you do with the leather on, brother. Yeah. But anyway, anybody ever had a record label ask you to slim down?
Yeah, definitely.
What'd they say? Slim down, Jazz.
Yeah, Jazz. You gotta. Are you working out? Try a diet, you know. Especially when the times when I spoke earlier about us picking out outfit. I could never have my outfit at the same time. Actually, it's like Nokia and Cisco. They can always grab something off the rack, but me and Woody always had it tough because Wood's like kind of tall. Yeah. And now, but now that Wood's gone, it's like I'm up there. I got double trouble now. You know, I got Nokia on this side, Cisco on that side. Now I do my thing though. You know, I mean, I put it down though.
You working
it, though. You know what I'm saying?
I've been thinking lately, big men, like a lot more clothing designers been making clothes for like bigger men because before we was in a world load of, we was in trouble.
Yeah, nothing.
A big man got to go shopping around. If I got an event to do on Friday, I will be Wednesday going to like 10 different stores to, just get me one nice outfit. I mean, it's hard for a big man to get some proper clothes.
Let me turn serious. I promise I'm only going to do it for 30 seconds. But let me ask one serious question before we go back to these phone calls. And that is whether or not, on a serious tip, you all have ever had any self-esteem issues because of your size. I asked that question on the serious tip because I know there are a lot of brothers and sisters who are watching who are on the heavier side, and we're laughing, having a good time, and y'all getting paid no matter what size you are. But that's not the run of the mill for everybody. There are a lot of people who have weight issues, and because they have those weight issues, self-esteem questions and issues come along with them. You ever had any self-esteem issues because of the weight, son?
Definitely.
Yeah, Sean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think when I was younger,
right,
it was worse for me because I didn't know how to deal with it.
Right.
So I tried to deal with it by buying friends or trying to do things to make friends and stuff like that.
Right.
And once I got older, I realized that this is me. This is who I am.
Right.
That's it.
Personally, man, I've always been confident. Like I told you, I'm Fat Joe. I put it in my name ever since I was a little kid. I've been Fat Joey on the block. Of course, when it came time to snap and joking, there was always the fat jokes, and then I had to snap on somebody's mama or something like that. I've always, I've always thought, I mean, it sounds arrogant. I always thought I was handsome, man. I always thought I could get any girl I wanted, so I always had confidence. But a lot of friends of mine, I got to encourage, because I got none but fat friends. All my friends, Fat Ant, Chef Mark, I'm rolling with like 10 fat boys up in there.
How do y'all get around? How do y'all get around town?
We go in our cars, and we got one boy called Fat Ant. He was walking up in there fixing his ass. He was telling me he more handsome than me. I mean, he crazy. I mean, but that's like I said, fat people always got the greatest sense of humor, man.
Right. Yes, the personality.
We always joking about it and stuff like that. But you
can't joke about being skinny. Ain't nothing funny about that.
You can't joke about being skinny. I mean, you can joke about being fat. There's a lot that comes with it.
Go, Sean. I hear you, Sean.
Skinny people trying to gain weight. They
try to be like you, huh?
I get mad when I walk in the store and there's the last 4X and some kid, they're skinny, grab the last 4X. I be like, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm trying to get like you, man. How you gonna rock the 4X? Man?
Everybody wants the oversized. Oversized.
Sure.
Hey, Tavis.
Yes, Sean.
What's the number there? I got another big guy I want to call you.
Oh, yeah. I don't, it's funny. Somebody tell me what the number, I don't know what the phone number is. I know what is it, Doc? So what is our phone number? It's funny you should ask that. I get it. It's on the, they're putting it on the screen. There it is on the screen. And the reason why I don't know the number, Sean, I don't want people to think I'm stupid, but I get asked this question in the airport all the time. And the reason why I don't know the number is because Lamar, the director, always puts it on the screen while I'm talking, so I never really see the phone number. But anyway, since Sean asked, for your big friends, there's the number, Sean, on the screen right there. Michelle in Michigan. Thanks for holding, Michelle. You're on the air, and I'm glad you called.
Okay, well, thank you. Basically, I just want to give a big up to Sean, Jazz, and Fat Joe. Well, I just basically have a comment. Big is in. Like I said, who wants to be held by someone who's very smart? You want to feel, you want to touch, you want to be held. Hey, I mean, big up. Keep doing what you're doing.
All right, Michelle in Michigan, we thank you. Have you ever been, I thought I read somewhere, Jazz, where you specifically said this, and I'll ask Fat Joe and Sean to comment on this. Have you ever been caught off guard by your sex appeal? I mean, when this love started being thrown at you by all these sisters up on the stage. I mean, before you even blew up as Drew Hill, at some point, sisters started checking you out, and they were throwing some stuff. They were throwing some love and probably a few other things they were throwing your way. But when they started throwing this stuff at you, did the sex appeal ever catch you off guard?
Yeah, it did. Actually, it started getting me like during our performance when I would go out singing "Never Make a Promise" and I saw the response. And then like, let's say, we might have an after party or whatever, and girls just walk up to me, "Hi, Drew Daddy." I'm like, whoa, where that one come from, And then it just, constantly grew, and that built my confidence level.
See, Sean, you've had so much love all your life. Women always throwing themselves at you. You never got caught off guard because you've always had this, haven't you?
Oh, man.
It didn't catch you off guard, did it, Sean?
I just started when I was young, man.
And we ain't gonna talk about that on the air either, Sean. JR in Indiana, thanks for holding, JR. You're on the air, and I'm glad you called.
Yeah, I got a two-part question. My first question is to Fat Joe, is where can I get some of your gear at? My second question is Sean Levert. Why did your brother clown that big sister at the Cincinnati Jazz Festival?
All right, Fat Joe, you go first.
I mean, it's all over. I mean, we got the FJ560 all over.
Give them again. FJ560.
FJ560 is the name of it. It's at www.fatjoe560.com, and you can see what we got available there. But it's coming.
What do you basically have? What's the basic lineup?
Oh man, we got jean jackets, pants, shirts, tops. you know, T-shirts, everything. You know what I mean? 560 it's on the rise. You know, also Carl Canard does a lot of nice big man stuff too, so you can catch that at Big and Tall Casual Mail or whatever.
Okay. Sean, I'm almost out of time, but you know there had to be one Gerald question. So since you representing the family tonight, there's the Gerald question. Apparently it's not just in Cincinnati, because I saw you guys at the Essence Festival, and he brought these two big sisters on the stage down in New Orleans.
It's everywhere, man. He does it everywhere, and it works every time. They love it. They love to see a big girl work it. They love to see her work it, man, and they be working it too. They do their job.
I got to run. I could do this for another hour, and I got a lot of folks standing around the phone lines, but I'm out of time, and I can't do any more. Sean, I love you, and I'm glad you came on. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, Tavis.
Give my best to your family.
Okay.
All right, Jazz, nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Man. And Fat Joe, nice to meet you. Good luck on the clothing line. Cheryl Martin back, and maybe Cheryl will give us her thoughts on what she thinks about these big brothers. Cheryl Martin back, including Cortland Malloy's commentary. She will share with us in just a moment. You're watching BET Tonight, and we're back in just a moment.
I love the Cheerios, yes I do. 'Cause nobody can say no to a honey nut. Oh, not your mama, not your sister, not even daddy. Golden honey, toasty, not sweet, and pleasing is the only reason. Oh, nobody can say no to honey nut Cheerios. 'Cause nobody can say no.
Daily Clarifying Shampoo and Daily Strengthening Complex. Ultimate shine and ultimate strength. What a refreshing way to show you love your hair.
It's my mom's birthday. She's in Washington. I don't know what to get her.
What'll make her happy?
Hearing from you. Come on. So dial 1-800-CALL-ATT and call her collect. It's the same low rate every minute, everywhere. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. Hi, Mama. This your daughter-in-law.
Suspense, intrigue, romance. The passion of Arabesque Films is coming soon to BET.
And welcome back to BET Tonight. I'm Cheryl Martin. A study shows some of the most diverse law firms are located in San Francisco and Washington, D.C. VaultReports.com says 1,700 attorneys nationwide ranked firms on the basis of things like training, pay, and ethnic diversity. Aiken, Gump, Strauss, Hauer, and Feld here in Washington ranked as the #1 firm. A group of Black and Hispanic students in California is suing to get tougher classwork. BET News correspondent Stephanie Frederick introduces us to one of the plaintiffs.
With her backpack and her headphones blasting, 17-year-old Rashida Daniel may seem like an ordinary teenager, but this high school honor student has actually done something extraordinary. You see, Rashida wants to ensure she and other minority students have a chance to take the most challenging courses high school has to offer. They're called Advanced Placement, or AP, classes.
It's just so much harder, and you have to work so much harder. And
But that's okay with you?
Yeah, and it feels almost like you're in college, and you kind of get that training. You become much more disciplined.
This fall, Rashida will be a senior at Inglewood High School, a predominantly Black and Latino school near Los Angeles. At Inglewood, students are only offered 3 advanced placement classes, none in math or science. But across town at mostly white Beverly Hills High, students can take up to 14 AP classes, half in math and science.
I feel kind of cheated almost, because it's like, wow, well, what's so bad about our school that we can't have the same opportunity?
There's a lot of stereotypes saying that, well, we can't handle the classes, but a lot of students can handle the classes. I'm one of them.
Recently, Rashida, 5 other Inglewood students, and the American Civil Liberties Union filed a civil rights class action lawsuit against the state of California on behalf of public high school students who say they are being denied equal and adequate access to AP courses. The ACLU says these gross inequities in education are happening in schools all over the country.
It's just not
fair, and it's also unconstitutional under the California Constitution, which gives every student a right to a free and equal education.
We know that in 1998 at UCLA, the average applicant had taken 16.8 AP courses or honors courses and had a grade point out of a 4-point average of 4.19. Kids like the African American and Latino kids whom we represent have no competitive chance where they don't have the same number of AP courses or anywhere close.
But Rashida, who has an A average, says she will pursue her dreams anyway. She wants to study theater at the University of California, Berkeley, or at Atlanta's prestigious Spelman College. Although her lawsuit will not help her now, she's hoping it will help other Black and Latino students in the future.
There are intelligent kids on my campus who would be willing and able to work hard enough to accomplish anything they set out to do.
In Inglewood, California, Stephanie Frederick, BET News.
In tonight's commentary, Washington Post columnist Cortland Malloy gives his views on the so-called television network blackout. The views expressed are independent of BET News and BET Tonight.
Thanks, Cheryl. None of the 26 new shows set to debut on ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox this fall will feature an African American in a leading role, and that has the NAACP upset. I say understandably so. Moreover, a recent study of television through the eyes of Black children found that most of our children would like to see more stars who resemble them, and they would also like for Black characters to have more positive attributes. I say right on to that, too. Consider the effects of having more than 80% of all Blacks on TV portrayed either as jokers, sidekicks, or criminals. According to the survey conducted by an organization in Oakland called Children Now, children more often associate positive qualities such as financial and academic success, leadership, and intelligence with white characters. On the other hand, they tend to associate negative qualities such as law-breaking, financial hardship, laziness, and goofy behavior with Black characters. This is what bothers me most about television. It's not that there are too few Black actors and actresses, it's the roles they play. It's like watching an old-fashioned Jim Crow minstrel show. I hope the NAACP keeps this in mind as the organization turns up the heat on Hollywood. Personally, I'd rather not see any Blacks on TV if all we're going to get are more comics and killers to mess up our children's minds. I'm Cortland Malloy.
Welcome back to the program. We put a wrap on this edition of BET Tonight. Join us Monday night on this program at 11 Eastern and 8 Pacific as we talk about the movie set to hit the silver screen. Got a round table here to talk about what's coming up at the movies on Monday night here on BET Tonight. Now we turn to Cheryl Martin to find out what's happening here at BET over the weekend. Cheryl.
You can join me Sunday for Lead Story at 10:30 a.m. and again at 9 p.m. Eastern. Our guest this Sunday, Hugh Price, president of the National Urban League. Have a great weekend, Tavis.
You too. Did you want to comment on our show tonight?
Well, it's great to see that love comes in all sizes.
Okay, sure. All right. That's why I do this show, and she does Lead Story. She's so diplomatic. You ought to apply for a job in a diplomatic corps somewhere. We thank all of our guests for coming on tonight. Have a great weekend until Monday night. Thanks for watching, and keep the faith.